Achilles injury a season ago. So Jerry and I are going to be back here at Mercedes-Benz post-game live when it's over out west. Right now, Mets looking to lock up a series victory over the Padres. Mets baseball right now.
Well, I've got one word for this shot right here, Keith. Stunning. The San Diego skyline, not many places better on this earth than San Diego, California. And look at that, the ballpark nestled into downtown. This is the New York Mets and the San Diego Padres. Game 2 of a 3-game set coming to you live from Petco Park in San Diego. And Jared Young, he has been hot since he returned from the IL, hit a home run last night, taking some BP before the game, as did this guy. A home run and a double for Luis Torrens, the former Padre, yesterday en route to a 5-0 Mets victory in Game 1 of the series. And with that, we welcome you inside alongside Keith Hernandez. I'm Steve Gelbs. And Keith, let's talk about Jared Young, because right now he has an opportunity to really solidify himself as basically an everyday player in this lineup. And so far, at least, he's taken advantage of it.
Well, I tell you what, he's had a good road trip so far. He's missed 9 games since his return. He's hit 3 home runs. He's hit 2 on this road trip, also hitting .333. He's gotten some big hits for this club. I've always liked his swing. He's a very powerful guy. You throw him that ball down low, he's going to lose it, and he has lost it 3 times since his return.
It's a bit of a circuitous route, I should say, to where he is right now. 15th round pick of the Cubs in 2017. Never really got a lot of runway in the big leagues. Went to Korea, was fantastic in the year that he played in the KBO, and then last year in AAA performed very well, but obviously blocked mostly by Pete Alonso. But this year, again, getting an opportunity and taking advantage of it. He could be the everyday first baseman moving forward, at least against right-handed pitching. He is crushing right-handed pitching this season. Meanwhile, San Diego Padres are not crushing any pitching right now. Offensively, just a huge malaise, shutout last night yet again.
Well, they are not scoring runs now. They've lost 10 out of 11, and over those 11 games, they've scored 26 runs. And their big 4 in their lineup, that you're talking about Machado, Tatis, Bogarts, and Merrill, they're all not hitting. Tatis has gotten hot of late, but Manny Machado is really struggling hitting on the internet. And if those 4 guys don't turn it around, the Padres are looking right now 8 games out behind the Dodgers. They could be sunset for them right quick.
By the way, I believe the word you were looking for there was interstate, not internet.
Okay, sorry.
Nolan McLean will look to keep the Padres down for yet another night. He's coming off a better outing after 2 really rough ones.
He had 2 real rough ones. We gave up 16 runs in 9 innings. His last start, he went 5 innings, gave up 2 hits, only 1 run. He pitched out of trouble, but on the downside, he had 5 walks. Very out of character for him.
Meanwhile, on the other side, it's old friend Griffin Canning, who is back after that ruptured Achilles last year. Just good to see him back on a big league mound.
It is. He is such a great guy. Such a loss for the Mets last year. He is winless this year with an ERA over 7. Left-handers have been crushing him. The Mets have put 5 lefties in the lineup to counter that.
Well, if you're in the car, get on the interstate and come on back home to watch the game tonight. Padres, Mets coming your way next. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by your local tri-state area Audi dealers. By Spectrum, it's internet, mobile, and streaming TV all from one place. By the New York Lottery, play today and start imagining your win. And by your tri-state Chevy dealers, visit ChevyOffers.com. On Saturday, June 13th, the first 18,000 fans at the game will receive a Hello Kitty bobblehead presented by Toyota. Get your tickets now at Mets.com/tickets. Around the Majors, presented by Windorama. After a shellacking yesterday, 18-3 at the hands of the Giants, the Cubs with a thrilling win this afternoon. Pete Crow Armstrong tying the game in the 9th. Michael Busch walked it off in the 10th. Lars Nootbaar back from injury. Go-ahead home run in the 8th inning. His first of the year for the Cardinals. And the Braves just keep rolling. Another series win. Now 18 series out of the 21 they've played. Mets will see the Cardinals and the Braves this upcoming homestand. There's Nolan McLean. He tries to get another victory tonight.
At the Home Depot.
Well, I know he was a Met for just a short period of time, but this is a really, really good sight to see Griffin Canning healthy, back on the mound again. 16th start last year, rupturing his Achilles after a good start to the season with the Mets. Here is the Honda Mets starting lineup. See Carson Benj, Bo Bichette, Juan Soto, and Jared Young back in that 4 spot, the cleanup spot. He has been, as we alluded to earlier, really, really consistently good for the Mets this season.
And there's Griffin Canning's numbers right there. You see the ERA is jacked up there. He's given up 6 home runs in 27 2/3, and that has been his big problem. And the left-hand hitters, the Padre defense. You've got Tatis, 2-time Gold Glover, 2-time platinum winner, both last year for him. That's quite an achievement. Machado, of course, gold and platinum over at third base. Bogart's a fine fielder up the middle. This is a good defensive ball club. They've only made 20 errors this year. That is the least in Major League Baseball.
Another gorgeous night here in San Diego, and strike number 1 poured in. We're underway. Carson Benj coming off an 0 for 4 night last night. Overall, though, been a huge bright spot for the Mets this season. It'll be Benj, Bichette, and Soto here in the top of the first. Well, Griffin Canning last year signed that 1-year, $4.25 million deal with the Mets, and really looked like a steal before the injury. A 3.77 ERA, and that was really the beginning of the end. That mid-June couple of injuries where Kodai Senga went down, and then a couple weeks later, Griffin Canning went down. Taken low, 2-2. Former 2nd-round pick of the Angels, Griffin Canning, back in California.
Yes. All those years with the Angels.
And the count full.
He's been averaging almost 5 walks per 9 innings, 15 walks in 27 2/3 to be exact, and that is not going to get it done. His whip 1.554.
Ground ball to the right side. Ty France makes the diving stop and throws it over to Canning for out number 1. That's a Gold Glover in Ty France.
Yes, it sure is. When 1 Gold Glove, makes a nice backhand play and a perfect feed to Canning. Oh, does a big belly flop there, look like. Got to cover. That's one of Ronnie's pet peeves. Pitchers backing up bases and getting over to cover first.
Well, Ty France with one of the all-time defensive turnarounds 2 years ago, a -12 outs above average at first base as Bo Bichette takes ball 1. Last year, though, led all first basemen with a +10 outs above average and his first Gold Glove.
Out 2 sliders to Bichette. Falls behind. Bichette 6 hits in his last 2 ball games. The 4 for 4 the last game in that Seattle series, and 2 last night.
Fouls it straight back to the screen, and 2 extra base hits for Bichette. Had an RBI triple and had a double. Went line to line yesterday as Bichette, the Mets' hope, finally showing some signs of life here.
Well, I like Bichette in the 2-hole because he goes to the opposite field. Now notice the infield on the right side defensively for the Padres. They're not playing the second baseman way up the middle. Rightly so, because Bichette goes that way predominantly.
Tops one to the left side. Coming in on the backhand is Machado. A low throw, but France picks it up. 2 down. Well, we were talking about that Griffin Canning injury last year, and this was the site. It's so innocuous, but that's often how it is with the Achilles.
Yeah, that's a tough injury, and I don't care how old or young you are, that's an injury you do not want.
Two away now for Juan Soto. Soto last night 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Was about as hot as any hitter possibly could be coming onto the road, but has cooled down a bit in Seattle and so far out here in San Diego as he grounds out to end the top of the first. A 1-2-3 inning for the Mets. Nolan McLean takes them out next.
At Pizza Hut.
Here's a look at your Hyundai Padres starting lineup, and mixing things around a little bit, trying to get something working. Jackson Merrill up to the 2-hole tonight, but it has been a lot of futility for this lineup as of late.
And the Toyota numbers for Nolan McLean, 3 and 4 his last outing. He got the win against the Marlins and a 10-1 win. The 5 walks were a little alarming. Hey, it wasn't going to be a cakewalk for Nolan. It's a learning year for him. Hitters are getting more familiar with him now. He's coming up now, not surprising everybody. They got a lot of video, and they're making adjustments, the hitters.
What are the adjustments that you are seeing from the hitters? A little aggressive on that fastball?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
What are the adjustments that you're seeing from the hitters right now?
It's not so much, oh wow, he stepped out of the box and they did not call timeout. I haven't seen enough, but I think he's realized he can't rely on that. He's got to make sure that spinner he's got, that he does it's a good one. It's been an out for him in AAA. This is the big league level. You got to make better pitches, and it's a learning year for him.
That's pitching coach Justin Willard looking on as McLean throws a 97-mile-an-hour fastball past Tatis, and that's a good sign. Over his last 4 starts had been a slight dip in velocity, so seeing that fastball back up at 97 is a positive. Fernando Tatis Jr. last night went 1 for 4, struck out twice. Padres shut out for the 7th time this season and the 3rd time in their last 10 games. Soft ground ball goes foul again.
Well, Nolan's given up 8 home runs in his 66 and a third innings pitched over 12 starts. 5 of them to left-hand hitters, understandably. But lefties only hitting .223 and righties hitting .179 against them.
Got him swinging. That was a good sinker from Nolan McLean. Strikeout number 1.
The sinker is such a good pitch. Righty-righty, lefty-lefty. It's a very difficult pitch. It gets under the bat.
So that'll bring up Jackson Merrill now, 0 for 4 last night with a strikeout. Takes one up and in. Merrill, it's been a struggle for him this season, and an odd struggle, especially against right-handed pitching. That one gets away.
See, he's trying to throw that breaking ball, Steve, harder to the lefties. He can't throw that little helicopter, to the left-handers. It's horizontal. It's very dangerous. He's got to throw more of a cutter. I think he's overthrowing it right now. See, I always like with a sinker ball pitcher, 2-0 behind the count, they're going to run that sinker down and away because they feel they can't get hurt. You can't hit a home run and really hurt them.
You see those numbers against right-handed pitching. Really did so well in his first 2 seasons against righties, but this year just 188 against righties, and especially against right-handed breaking balls, hitting 154 this year. Hit well over 300 in each of his first 2 seasons against breaking balls from right-handers.
Oh,
and that is strike 3 taken right down the pipe.
Oh, Caught looking for a breaking ball, and this will segue right into your Car Shield Metropolitan defense. Soto, Ewing, Benj in the outfield. Those two guys on the right, they can cover ground. It really makes an improvement in the outfield defense. It's so noticeable. Simeon's been solid at second base.
Ty France, the batter now. He takes the ball just inside off the plate. France last night went 1 for 4. Struck out, but having a great season in his second stint with the Padres. Fouls that one into the seats. McClain, by the way, already up to 2 strikeouts through 2 batters. Only had 2 strikeouts his entire last start against the Marlins.
No, everybody's got a compact motion today. They're almost. He's not a dart thrower, but just very compact motion.
Blows it past France. Good cutter. So McClain looking very sharp early on. And the count even at 2-2. Carlos Mendoza won his 200th career game with the Mets last night. 10th manager in Mets history to reach that milestone. Top to the left side. Beatty is there. Plenty of time. Tosses it over. And the Padres go down 1-2-3. Strong first inning for Nolan McClain.
It's out.
Back in the top of the second, Jared Young takes strike 1. Takes ball 1 up and in. Jared Young 2 for 4 last night. Another home run, now 3 in his last 6 games. Overall this season, limited action because of the injury, but hitting .313 with a .944 OPS.
Well, you know, the Mets have always been, under Mendoza in particular, have been a lineup that they like to have left, right, left, right, left, right. Young looking for offense. He's been swinging such a hot bat. They're hitting him behind Soto.
That one will go foul. Well, especially against righties, it makes sense.
Yes.
Jared Young in his career has been so good against right-handed pitching. This season, hitting almost .350 against righties.
You know, he had 7 years with the Cubs in the minor leagues and just got 2 cups of coffee basically in the early 20s. They released him or let him go. The Cardinals picked him up. He's having a good year in AAA and they let him go. He went to Korea and finished very strong there.
Well, he swings through that slider for out number 1. This season, get a Baja for a blast. When a Mets home run clears 420 feet, you can score a free 20-ounce Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Register now at BajaBlastHomeRuns.com to unlock the offer. Marcus Semien now stepping up to the plate.
Moved up in the lineup to break up. The Mets had 3 straight left-handers yesterday's lineup.
Semien with a lot of history against Griffin Canning.
And success.
9 for 30. Pair of home runs, a double.
I was in the gym today and ran into his grandfather, I believe, and so we had a nice conversation with him.
With Simeon's grandfather?
Yeah, he was here.
Oh wow.
Very nice man. He was on the. I wanted to get on the recumbent bike, and he was on, and I had to wait.
You didn't throw him off?
No.
Can't hold up. 1 and 2.
Nice.
Well, Keith, I hope I'm not speaking out of turn. It does appear you do need to get stronger, though.
Right, I do. Well, I know where you're going here.
Do you want to just? I don't need to ask. You can just take it. If you'd like.
My right quad is still kind of dead, and I've been 3 days in rehab, starting to get the strength back. So I flew on Delta from JFK to San Diego. I made the mistake of having a window seat, and I was in aisle 1. And I had a guy sitting in B next to me on my right in the aisle seat, and he has full Met regalia. And he didn't recognize who I was. I was into my iPad and the whole thing. The whole flight. The whole flight did not know who I was. We go into, we're descending, and the steward, the flight attendant discovers that I have my laptop. I had it hidden in my newspapers. He goes, "You got to put that up on the." I had to get up and sidle over his legs. And then I put when I sidled back into my seat, I bent my leg and I went down almost in his lap, and I just grabbed his television in front of him, and it basically it saved me from falling in the lap. And he still didn't know who I was.
He didn't recognize you then?
No. And there's ball 4. So to make a long story short, there was a couple behind that were Met fans and knew who I was. So I turned to the wife when we landed, and I said, "Would you mind asking your husband to get my bag for me up on top?" And they said, "Absolutely." And so the guy in my seat went and got it, and then he looked at me and he went, "Keith." I said, "The whole flight."
The whole flight, and you fell in his lap.
Yes.
And he still didn't understand.
I was so embarrassed, and I was worried that, you never know with the internet today, not the interstate. I fell. I think I'm drunk, and I didn't have one bit of alcohol on the entire flight. But it was embarrassing.
I just want to know who this guy was.
He's at our hotel.
The one in full Mets regalia.
Yeah, he was there, and the couple behind me. They're all at the same hotel.
I know the couple behind you is at the same hotel, because when I got to the lobby a couple of days ago, they were very excited to tell me that they helped you with your bags.
Right.
A.J. Ewing, hot shot that gets past the dive of Song. And the Mets have a pair of base runners on here in the top of the second.
Well, that's 2 at-bats now. Last night, Ewing's last at-bat was off the big gun, Miller, the closer. And he hit a bullet just like this last night off of probably the premier closer in the game. Hardest thrower in the game, one of the hardest throwers. And that would be what, Mason Miller, correct?
Yes, Mason Miller. Hadn't pitched in a week because of how bad the Padres have been. Here's a big opportunity now for Mark Vientos, who has been slumping. He has seen his playing time diminish greatly. Last night, 0 for 1 in a pinch hitting opportunity with a strikeout. Vientos 0 for 5 in his career against Griffin Canning with 4 strikeouts, but gets the opportunity tonight as the DH. Keith, the Mets are going to need Vientos. There's an expectation that Jorge Polanco would join the club here in San Diego. Then yesterday we find out, well, he's going to stay put for a little bit longer. Today, the news even worse. Mets shut down Polanco's rehab assignment, complained of more soreness in that Achilles, and he's on his way back to New York, likely to get imaging. And so who knows with Jorge Polanco.
The Achilles is a tough injury. No, you don't want it if you're 20 years old or you're 34 years old or 35 years old. That is a tough one, and he's having issues, so it's going to be a while.
Here's the 2-2 to Vientos. Swung on and missed, strike 3, and there's 2 down.
Well, Mark going off a hanging slider out of the strike zone.
Well, Vientos this season, when pitcher gets 2 strikes on him, he is really having difficulties as Brett Beatty steps to the plate. That was the 94th 2-strike count for Vientos this season. He has struck out 44 of those times.
Beatty had 2 hits last night.
Ground ball and past the dive of Song, and that'll score 1. Marcus Semien crosses home plate. A.J. Ewing goes first to third. It is an RBI base hit for Brett Beatty, and the Mets take a 1-0 lead.
No, just a slider, not much, on the outside corner. And that's going to Semien going to score easily here, and this young man here, forget it. That's first to third written. He should never have hesitated. Don't have to look at your third base coach. That plays in front of you.
Here's Luis Torrens, who had the big night last night. 2 for 3, a double home run, 2 RBIs over his last 8 games now, 9 for 22. And Torrens has been very good over the last couple of years with runners in scoring position.
Had a big night last night.
The one thing we've seen from Torrens when he gets in these opportunities, shortens up, looks to go the opposite way, and right now Padres holding Beatty on at first. There is a huge hole on the right side of the infield.
I would play Torrens much like you play Bichette. Would not give him the right side of the infield.
There goes Beatty. Torrens shoots it foul. And here was the home run last night, Keith.
Well, a fastball right down the middle, around belt high, and I tell you what, that's impressive pop right there.
First home run of the season for Torrens.
You got 2 outs. Brett's got to stay right where he's at. Don't try to steal here. Leave that right side of the infield wide open for Torrens.
Fouled back. Torrens on the season with runners on base hitting .317 as opposed to just .177 with nobody on. Really good clutch hitter. Throw over. Beatty gets back. Canning, the former Met. Torrens, the former Padre. Soft ground ball in front of Canning. He makes the easy toss over to first, and that'll retire the side. But the Mets strike first. They're up 1-0.
Local hardware, folks.
Bottom 2, Nolan McLean back out for his second inning of work, facing Manny Machado. Delivers strike 1.
Good fastball up and in right there.
Machado went 1 for 4 last night, batting just .175 on the season. Pops one foul. 15th big league season for Machado.
Nolan's got to be careful. That first fastball's on the corner. That one was right down the pipe up. Just got to be a little more precise in the corners. It's not that easy.
Went with the breaking ball. We talked about this last night, that the Padres as a whole really struggling against breaking balls, especially Manny Machado though this season. Here's the 1-2. Served into center field. A.J. Ewing in a couple of steps, out number 1. Well, you look at the Dodgers and then you look at everybody else. The Dodgers leading the majors in ERA, opponent's average, opponent OPS, batting average, OPS, I mean everything. They are in the clear in the NL West for now. Ketel Marte though really starting to turn it on over the last few weeks.
Remember, he was in a bad slump when the Mets played them earlier in the year in Phoenix. And the Giants with the starters, the ERA almost at 5, and although they've hit of late, what 3 games?
Yeah.
Their offense has been woeful. And boy, you can't afford to have a team ERA almost 5 with that kind of offense. That spells last place. It has it written all over it.
Gavin Sheets, the batter. Nolan McLean gets a new ball after falling behind 2-0. And there's strike one. Dodgers 8 games ahead of the Padres and Diamondbacks. Who would have thought the way that this season started that the Diamondbacks would already be caught up to the Padres, though. Sheets can't hold up. 2-2.
Yeah, the Dodgers are starting to put some distance.
Well, the Padres were 11 games over 500 before losing 10 of their last 11.
Yep. They just haven't hit.
First-year manager Craig Stammen trying to figure a way out of this.
Oh boy, another guy.
Got him looking.
Another guy taking a fastball with 2 strikes.
3 strikeouts for McLean through his first 5 batters. Well, the Dodgers, 3 World Series titles, 13 postseason appearances, 13 winning seasons in the last 13 years. What a baker's dozen it's been for them, and for the other 4 Cali teams, for the most part, a decade plus to forget. Yeah, of course he's smiling. Dodgers up 4-1 on the Angels right now. Won a close one yesterday. Andy Pajes, his 14th homer of the season.
Dodgers won last night, 1-0 on a Freeman walk-off home run. Freddie's just one of the premier players, hitters, and a good glove as well. A well-rounded player. Just a terrific player.
McLean ahead of Xander Bogaerts, 1-2. Misses with the breaking ball, 2-2. McLean looking sharp. 5 up, 5 down, 3 strikeouts so far. And he misses outside. Count full. Keith, looks like McLean has better command of the fastball so far tonight.
It's early right now, but he's come out throwing it. He's throwing strikes. He's having trouble with that breaking ball a little bit right now. Like there, we've seen a lot of that.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Better command with the fastball than the breaking ball. And he walks Xander Bogaerts.
I do feel, I mentioned it last time, that he's starting to wants to throw that breaking ball harder, more velocity. He can't throw it that's off speed. Hitters can track, and he hasn't found the range. That's always a good pitch right there. That fastball running in to a right-hander.
Miguel Andujar gets the start tonight after sitting out last night. Keith, is it more difficult for McLean to get command? We'll talk about this after the next half inning, assuming McLean completes the play, which he does, to retire the side. Through 2 innings, Mets up 1-0. Cold hard facts presented by Coors Light. Toughest remaining strength of schedule goes to your New York Mets. .537 win percentage combined. And Padres right up there as well.
Mets had their opportunity in April and May against lesser teams, and they did not take advantage of it. And June is going to be a very, very telling month. Very telling. They're going to play the Phillies twice, the Braves twice. And the schedule gets tougher.
Carson Bench tops one foul. Well, that's the negative. The positive is that tonight will be the last game the Mets play that will start later than 8 p.m. Eastern time. In fact, they only have 3 games remaining that even start at 8 o'clock.
That's the last road trip of the year, I believe.
Yeah, in Texas.
Texas, right. Texas 3, and then they go to Washington to end it. You know, 4 trips to the West Coast. This is the last trip. I mean, MLB, they should be hung to the highest oak tree for that kind of schedule for the Mets. I mean, it's just really just a difficult schedule, going 4 times, and here we are the first week of June, and they've been to the West Coast 4 times.
Well, how about this? They have played on the road all the NL West teams.
Yep.
And 2 AL West teams. They have yet to play the Braves or the Phillies.
Yep.
Figure that.
So you want to play American League and National League. That's what you're gonna get.
Payoff pitch to Benj. Skied into center field. Jackson Merrill, plenty of room, makes the grab. 1 down.
Well, last night's ball game, the Padres were only 0 for 1 with runners in scoring position. They only had 1 opportunity to drive in a run. The Mets went 2 for 6 last night with runners in scoring position.
Well, that's the big board out in left field. 61 feet tall, 123 feet wide. It used to be the type of thing where you walked into this ballpark and said, wow, that's a big scoreboard. And then the Mets altered theirs, and now everything else looks small.
Well, it used to be everything's big in Texas. It's real thick, too. It's got a lot of depth to it.
Bo Bichette takes ball 1.
And they're playing Bo to the pretty much straight up on the infield and shading him really to the right in the outfield, which is correct.
Bo flails at that. 1-1.
Another nice crowd.
Always is. They packed this place. Half fools Bichette. And the count 1-2.
You know, when they had old Jack Murphy, they hardly drew there. It was such a beautiful setting, and they just didn't draw.
And Bichette goes down swinging. The knuckle curve gets him. 2 away.
I mean, the Padres back then at old Jack Murphy, they had, Gaylord Perry. They won a Cy Young there. You had Steve Garvey move there from the Dodgers. You had Dave Winfield, Tony Gwynn. They had good teams. There's Tony.
So what do you think it is then?
I don't know, but this park right here downtown, I mean, it's so wonderful. People can walk from downtown. It's such a revitalized downtown area.
And you saw that lawn seating out in right center field. Juan Soto takes ball 1. That's unique in this day and age. The first ballpark with lawn seating since Forbes Field, which closed in 1970.
Ralph Kiner played there. An old Forbes.
Taken low, 2-1. I did not know that.
What?
Petco Park has only experienced 4 rainouts in the history of the ballpark.
I would believe that.
I think we were here for one of them somewhat recently, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, if you look down the lines, you cannot see the tarp.
Hey, we're in the desert. Southern California is the desert.
I understand, but we're talking, this is the 23rd season of this ballpark.
My dad used to get so angry because all the power was in Los Angeles politically and because of the population. And Northern California gets the snowfall and the water, and Dad said they're stealing our water all the time.
2-2 to Soto, and he just gets out of the way of that one. It is the perfect climate here. Always like high 60s, low 70s, no humidity.
Nope.
How do you get out of the way?
Hey, he's an athlete.
Payoff to Soto.
Well, he takes a cut. And I've always said if a side swing here, he never gets cheated, and he's got that home run swing. And I've always said if he wanted to hit line drives, he would be a batting champion.
Flied out to left center field. Gavin Sheets ends the inning. Mets go down 1-2-3 in the third.
And you can eat.
Bottom three, Nolan McLean facing Sung Moon Song. Song starting for the second straight night for the Padres. Just his 11th start this season. Last night went 0 for 3. Signed a 4-year deal with the Padres this offseason out of Korea. And he takes a strike. It's 1-1. Well, Keith, at the end of the second inning, I had started to ask you about McLean's movement on the breaking ball, and as much as that can be a blessing, can it also be a curse and make it more difficult to control like we're seeing tonight?
Well, I think that the step up from AAA, where you can get away with a mediocre breaking ball, he has a lot of spin. In the big league level, it's a big step up, and you can't just get that throw me that get me over and get away with it on a regular basis. So he's given up 8 home runs. That's shaky a little bit, and I felt he was taking too much off of his slider, got too confident with it. That sweeper. There's ball 4 to.
I think, though, Keith, you look at this, right, and the movement, and we've talked about this so much, the pitch movement compared to the rest of the league is so unique. And so I would imagine that every game it's a little bit different where you have to set your sights based on how much that ball is moving, no?
Well, it depends. Sometimes you go out there and you don't have it. Sometimes you have a good breaking ball. There goes Song, easily stolen, no throw. I really feel that he's learning that, okay, these aren't AAA hitters. They've hurt me. He had those 2 rough outings, and where he gave up a lot of runs, and they got base hits off of him. And he realized, okay, it's an adjustment. I got to throw my breaking ball a little bit harder, and that's why we're seeing him missing so badly wide, Steve.
So Song easily steals second. Freddie Fermin still squares to bunt. Nobody covered the bag on that last stolen base, not on time, and that's why Torrens held the ball.
He had a good jump. I don't think that they were going to get him. So, but anyway, a bunt right here with your number 9 hitter. That just goes to show you how they're just scraping for runs. Craig Stammen, the manager.
Corners in. Fermin squares again, pops up the bunt right to McLean. And there's one down. So just like last night when Brett Beatty made a great play on a bunt that was popped up, the Padres unable to execute the fundamentals.
Now, then he had the bat out in front and horizontal, but that pitch was out of the strike zone.
Back to the top of the order now for Fernando Tatis. Corners move back with no threat of a bunt here.
So getting back to my point about McLean, I just think the adjustment for him now is I've got to throw that breaking ball harder, and he hasn't found that range yet where you've seen him miss really bad with that breaking ball to a right-hander. Let's see if he's okay.
Luis Torrens coming out to speak to McLean. And you see the concern on the face of Carlos Mendoza, but he's not going out there yet, which that's at least a good sign. Maybe just caught a spike.
We'll take a look right here, but that's of concern. Oh, that was an awkward. When he stepped, it looked like he may have missed his landing spot. It looked like he buckled a little bit, didn't he?
Yeah, it did. But he appears to be okay. A 2-0 in there for a strike. And that was a good sweeper.
He's backing it up inside a lot to the right-hand hitters. Boy, if that thing gets over the middle, he's going to get hurt. What's wrong with that pitch?
Padres offense. Not good. Not good.
No.
Okay. I think that's being kind, right?
Yeah.
Not good. Here's the 3-1. Did he hold up? He did not. Strike two. Here's the payoff. Right back up the middle, off the bag, and that'll score a run. Coming around to score is Song. A lucky base hit for Fernando Tatis, and it's tied up at 1 apiece.
Well, they're even now. Remember, Jared Young got a double off the first base bag that scored a run. And now, okay, a tit for a tat. There's nothing you can do about that.
Mets had Tatis play perfectly, too. Simeon right in position. So an RBI base hit for Fernando Tatis. Justin Willard out to speak with Nolan McLean.
14 stolen bases, Tatis. Got to keep an eye on him. He's been caught 6 times. And if a team that is struggling offensively, you've got to make things happen. And you've got a guy that can steal the base, and he's got to try to steal the base.
Had 32 stolen bases last year. Here's Jackson Merrill now. 0 for 1 with a strikeout looking. Swinging first pitch out into left field, and that'll reach the Steets. "22 years old, 3rd major league season. Had an outstanding rookie year, dealt with some injuries last year, and struggling this season. Tatis threatens to go. High fly ball. Left field. Soto makes the grab, and there's 2 away.
He got in his kitchen right there with the fastball. Beat him inside.
So a big second out for Nolan McLean, and that'll bring up Ty France. France 0 for 1. Grounded out to 3rd base in the first. Throw over. Tatis gets back. New York Mets baseball on SMY is brought to you by New York Presbyterian. June is Men's Health Month, and on June 9th, the Mets and New York Presbyterian are offering free prostate cancer screenings for men 40 and older at Citi Field's Heineken Diamond Lounge. Get screened and receive a voucher for 2 free tickets to a 2026 Mets game.
Good fastball up and away.
98.
And so many hitters today, they're not high ball hitters. So that's a good pitch. You would say that ball's up. But now today, that pitch up is an effective pitch.
And it's 0-2. So McLean coming after France with 2 hard fastballs to get ahead. Just gets a piece of that one. France has always been a free swinger, but he's got good pop. Missed high, 1-2. France was originally drafted in the 34th round in 2015 by the Padres. Local kid out of San Diego State. And he's staying alive in this one. Signed with the Padres as a minor leaguer in February, minor league free agent, after bouncing around playing for Seattle, Cincinnati, Minnesota, and Toronto. And right now off to the best start of his career, trying to keep this inning going. Well, McLean just misses inside. Tried to paint that curveball 2-2. And the count worked full now from 0-2 to 3-2.
Now it's pretty obvious right now that McLean is struggling with his breaking stuff and his fastball.
Tatis will be in motion. And that one misses. And the inning continues.
And that's walk number 3.
Walk number 3. And that is a rarity for Ty France, who I mentioned is a free swinger. Just the 7th walk Ty France has taken this season. So here's Manny Machado, who's 0 for 1, lined out to center field an inning ago. Has an opportunity now to give the Padres the lead. 58 pitches deep for Nolan McLean.
Good pitch. That's been his most effective pitch against the right-handers, that sinker.
Well, overall, that's been the pitch for McLean this season. He's thrown it more than any other, 35% of the time. When you have 6 pitches, 35% is significant. And it's 0-2.
Hey, sometimes when you're in trouble, you just got to throw number 1. He went right after Machado. 2 straight fastballs.
Well, that's what he did with Ty France. Let's see if he sticks with number 2 or tries to get Machado to chase with the breaking stuff. Steps off. Popped up. Torrens giving it a look, but that'll reach the seats. So he went with the sweeper, and we did see before McLean stepped off, he shook Torrens off a couple of times. Wonder if Torrens just wanted to stick with number 1. And he gets him with the curveball to get out of the jam. Padres strand 2 but score 1 to tie the game.
Senor.
Tie ball game back in San Diego for the 4th inning. Jared Young leads off 0 for 1 tonight with a strikeout in the 2nd. Griffin Canning misses with the breaking ball. Ground ball. Ty France handles easily. Underhand toss for the first out. Well, you know, they say the most important pitch is strike number one. In case you didn't believe them, take a look at this. I mean, this is really pretty amazing. In pitchers counts, opponent OPS is 488. Look at hitters counts or even counts.
Well, I mean, in today you can put those numbers up. In our day, you know, you're 0-1, 0-2, you're 1-2, you're in trouble.
First pitch swinging, base hit for Marcus Semien, who continues to have success against Griffin Canning. And there's one on with one out.
Always has good balance. Semien. He is not a lunger, or he doesn't float forward. He stays back.
So here's A.J. Ewing. Singled in the second.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and he's going to challenge that.
I think he might win this
Yeah, that
challenge.
looked outside to me.
It's going to be close. Oh, it nipped it. I said it was going to be close. And it certainly was, Ollie.
So it's an 0-2 count now on A.J. Ewing. Well, it's interesting to see the evolution of how pitchers are attacking him. The first 6 games in the big leagues, he walked 7 times, including those 2 3-walk games. Last 17 games, though, just 2 walks. There goes Semien. The throw down from Fermin, and he got him.
Oh, it's close.
Freddie Fermin, a really good defensive catcher.
Boy, that was a perfect throw. Actually, Bogarts got too far in front of the bag. He had to come back and make the long tag. Look how far away from the bag he is. He could have been closer. He had to be closer to the bag.
Yeah, Semien almost got in there.
Heck of a throw.
Well, Fermin was a Gold Glove finalist a couple years ago, despite playing just 72 games at catcher for Kansas City behind Salvador Perez. He's got what they call elite pop time. So I'm going to throw out a number. It's 1.88 is his pop time.
Okay.
For reference, because you all know how good Luis Torrens is, Torrens is 1.86. So essentially the same. You know, they're very similar in story as well, because Fermin, like I said, Gold Glove finalist 2 years ago despite just 72 games at catcher. And last year, you see Bogarts getting the tag. Last year, Luis Torrens was a Gold Glove finalist despite only playing, I think it was 92 games at catcher.
I think eventually, just to change the topic, I think Ewing eventually is going to be the Mets' leadoff hitter. I mean, Bench has more power. Ewing has a terrific eye. I like speed at the top. You know me. I like 1-2. And I like Bichette in the 2-hole. It doesn't run great, but he's a good guy to hit second because he goes to the opposite field well, to right field, to set up a first and third. And if Bench can develop, there's ball 4. And Bench could eventually become, the third hitter of this ball club. We'll see. It's got a long way to go. And then you got Soto in your classic cleanup role in a 4-hole. But in today's game, they're in love with that 2-hole, having your best hitter in the 2-hole.
Well, they just want as many opportunities for your best hitters. But I agree with you. I think A.J. Ewing, especially, I like him a lot as the leadoff hitter of the future once he gets his feet wet for real at the major leagues. And I could see that. Ewing, Bichette, Benj, Soto. Here's Mark Vientos. Held up.
I mean, both Benj and Ewing can steal bases, and boy, that's a plus to have them in the top of the order.
Big swing from Vientos, and it's 1-1. Mark Vientos just 6 for his last 42. Trying to find his way out of it. And Ewing gets back.
Big lead.
Stays put. Taken up and in. And another pitch up and in.
Boy, when Canning misses, he misses up in the strike zone.
Ground ball foul. Count full 3-2. Well, we talked last night about how the Rays have really had the Marlins number. Marlins get one from Tampa today. 4-3 win. Liam Hicks, a pinch hit RBI, his 47th RBI this season.
How about that?
What a year he's having. We saw him against the Mets. Had that 2-home run game.
See if they put Ewing in motion here. Not a big lead. There he goes.
Swung on a miss, strike 3, and nobody covering the bag.
What? Oh, it's 3 outs.
Oh, third out.
Sorry. My bad. My bad.
For Means bag 2. Nobody knew.
My bad.
Mid 4, 1-1.
That was awful.
Thanks.
Here are NL East standings. Talked about the Marlins getting the victory. They're a game up on the Mets right now. The Nationals beat the Diamondbacks 6-1. They're a game over 500 right now. The latest they have been over 500 in a season since 2021. Braves won again.
Yeah.
Phillies lost 6-5.
Yeah, Andrew Painter got about 4 runs in the first. Now he's 1-7 on the year. And the Phillies, they had high hopes for that young man.
Sorry, it's 6-3 the Phillies lost to the White Sox, who, by the way, on the flip side, the White Sox 34-30 now through 64 games. You know what the record was through 64 games last year? 21-43.
Oh boy.
Gavin Sheets into the seats. Well, Gavin Sheets knows a thing or two about struggling White Sox teams. He was on that 2024 White Sox team who set the record with 121 losses. Talk about a turnaround story for him personally. Was non-tendered after that season, posted a 660 OPS. Now with the Padres is having quite the season.
Another hitter that we talked about, and that holds his hands very high, which is very much in vogue. Holds his hands up around his chin, above his around ear level.
Tapped softly off the mound is McLean.
Nice.
Falling away, gets the throw on target. Nice play by Nolan McLean, and there's one away.
Nice play right there. Shows a lot of athleticism. Quick off the mound, throwing off on the run. Momentum going towards the third base dugout. That's just a nice play.
So 1 away in the 4th inning. Xander Bogaerts coming up. Bogaerts worked a walk in the 2nd. You know, Xander has a twin brother, Jair. The two of them signed with the Red Sox out of Aruba in 2009. And his brother was eventually traded to the Cubs as part of the compensation for Theo Epstein. Bogaerts speaks 4 languages: English, Spanish, Dutch, and let me see if I'm pronouncing this correctly, Papiamento?
Yes. There's that slider way out of the strike zone. Seen a lot of that tonight in this start.
And Keith, if you're a big league hitter and you see that, do you just eliminate that pitch?
No, you don't, because he's thrown it for strikes too. Oh, good pitch, that fastball.
Strike 3 called. Bogaerts thought about challenging, but takes a seat, 2 away.
I thought it was a strike.
Well, even though he's going through a bit of a rough patch overall right now, Nolan McLean with a stellar start to his big league career. And what you're seeing in this start and his last start as well, he gets a line out right to Simeon to retire the side. He is battling through. Just 1 run allowed through 4. Score big on authentic gear at MLBshop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, visit MLBshop.com/Mets, the official source for your Mets gear. To the 5th we go, all tied up at 1. Brett Beatty swinging first pitch, high chopper. Song makes the flip, 1 away.
Canning with 77 pitches. He needs a quick inning to go further in this game.
Well, after that 29 pitch 2nd inning, Canning's been pretty efficient. Ninth batter, Luis Torrens, squares to bunt, pulls it back. Torrens 0 for 1 after a big night last night. Grounded out in the 2nd. And he fouls that back, 1-1. Adrian Morejon getting loose in the pen for the Padres.
The Padres have a very good bullpen. It's one of their strengths.
And a strike, 2-2. Well, that guy knows about relief pitching. 13 big league seasons. Last 6 of them with the Padres. Started his career with the Nationals, as you talked about last night. Keith, influenced by Davey Johnson.
Yes.
And the count full at 3-2.
No, he wanted to manage. So, you know, when you're an everyday player, you can't really focus if you want to be a manager.
And he gets Torrens swinging up. Yep, foul ball caught by Fermin, says home plate umpire Brian Walsh. And there's 2 down.
I tell you what, he snow cone this catch. Oh, hit the dirt.
Hit the dirt.
Hit the dirt.
Good job selling it. Torrens looked like he knew. So a lucky break for Griffin Canning and the Padres, and there are 2 down.
You know, that's a play. You know, the umpires today are almost automatic. They ask the corner umpires, whichever one, did he swing? They do it more today. And that was a play right there where the umpire could say, hey, ask the first base umpire.
Carson Bench 0 for 2 tonight. Went 0 for 4 last night. See the Padres playing him to pull. Shortstop Xander Bogaerts playing as close to second base as you can legally.
And a little shade of center field to the opposite field.
The 0-2 taken. Strike 3 looking. And the Mets go down 1-2-3 in the top of the 5th. Still 1-1.
Liberty, Liberty.
So it hasn't been easy so far for Nolan McLean, but he has limited the Padres to just 1 run. And in the 5th inning, poor strike 1 in to Sung-Moon Song. Off the end of the bat, and that should dunk into center field for a base hit. So a perfectly placed ball from Song. And the Padres have the leadoff runner on in the 5th.
Well, it's a hanging breaking ball. And he just dorked it into center field. Look at that. It's just a hanger up.
Well, we saw Freddie Fermin attempt to bunt as McLean throws over. In the 3rd inning, Song walked and stole second. And then Fermin tried to bunt him over to 3rd.
Here we go again.
Lays down a much better bunt there. A perfect bunt from Fermin and advances the runner.
Really nice fielding and strong arm 2 times by McLean. And that ball's down in the strike zone. One before, remember, he popped up, it was up, and it was almost in his eyes. Look at McLean off the mound. So quick.
So just like 2 innings ago, Song led off the inning by getting on base. Then he got to second base, and Fernando Tatis came up with a chance to drive him in. In the 3rd inning, he did just that, an RBI single to tie the game at 1.
You got Tatis, who's been hot. I mean, McLean is not an easy mark for a right-hander. You just have to go up there and look fastball and go up the middle. Now, left-hander, you can be a little more choosy of what you want to do off McLean. He has that sinker away, and he's got that slider. He's a little bit afraid to throw to lefties. You know, you can wait for that sinker if you're a left-hander, but that sinker to a right-hander, a tough pitch.
Song dances off second. Ground ball stopped by Bichette. There'll be no play, but he prevents the run from being scored, and it looks like Bichette is shaken up.
I'd hope it's not a finger or a wrist.
Carlos Mendoza immediately out of the dugout.
He's saying he's all right. I think he makes a heck of a play right here on the backhand. Yeah, I think it's a shoulder. Yep. It's left shoulder, glove side.
And he says he's okay, and
that's a lot. That's a big wince right there,
yeah,
Steve.
But he's staying in the game. And that did not look good. You can see he's still in some pain there. But a heck of a play, and potentially a run-saving play. A base hit for Tatis, and now it's up to Jackson Merrill with 2 on and 1 out.
Let's see if they go inside against Merrill. Got in there last time.
Merrill 0 for 2 tonight. Blows it by him.
Big uppercut. Yeah, Song had to hold on that play because, and rightly so, he had to make sure it went through the infield before he advanced.
This is up and away, 1-1. And another fastball by him. That one a cutter.
Yep.
And it's 1-2.
There's a big uppercut swing from Merrill, and he's not going to touch a pitch above his up in the letters.
Goes up high again. That one a little too high. 2-2. So if you're McLean, that's where you're looking. Fastball up at the letters.
I would go after him upstairs. Just hard stuff up. Wouldn't want to risk a breaking ball. He's had trouble with it. Ooh, that just misses. Tried to backdoor him there, and no challenge from Torrens, so it had to miss.
Ty France on deck. 2 on, 1 out, 3-2. Fouled away. Popped up into center field. Going back is Ewing. A few steps in front of the warning track. Comes on in, makes the grab, throws to second as the runner advances to third.
Strong throw to second.
So he keeps Tatis at first base as Song advances to third.
So that play by Bichette saves a run. That would have been a sac fly. Got that fastball upstairs enough on Merrill that he got under it.
Still wincing a little bit.
Oh, he was hurt.
Something to keep an eye on. 2 out. Ty France, runners at the corners. '87 pitches deep for McLean. And he misses 1-0.
He's getting close to 90 pitches.
Cionel Perez, first man up in the pen. Good hard sinker. That's been the pitch to rely on to righties. Taken inside, tried to double up. Ty France having a good season with runners in scoring position, hitting .281.
McLean has really struggled. He's just he's a battler. It hasn't been easy for him this start.
There goes Tatis. Fake throw, and they got him. Great job by Torrens to get Song in the rundown after faking the throw down to second. And the Mets get out of the jam unscathed. Padres leave one on, 1-1.
For life.
We head to the 6th. Still knotted up at 1, in large part because of Bo Bichette.
And
made a great diving play, and looks like he's okay as he gets out there for the first at bat of the 6th. New pitcher for the Padres, Adrian Morejon.
Hard throwing left-hander.
All-star last year for the first time, averaging 99 miles an hour on his fastball. It's a ground ball machine. That's a changeup, and it's 1-2.
There you see the Padres bullpen, second in the National League. It's one of their strengths, and of course they got the Mason Miller, their closer, who is elite.
Well, Morahone has had his struggles against righties this year. Righties hitting over 300 against him. And Bichette stays alive, just fouls that 100-mile-an-hour sinker off. It'll be Bichette and then the two lefties, Soto and Young. High chopping ground ball coming on is Bogarts. He makes the strong throw for the first out of the inning. Well, the Mets got out of the last half inning because of the fake by Luis Torrens, faking throwing through and then catching Sung Moon Song in a rundown. But honestly, this is a bad base running play.
The rule is you've got to make sure the throw goes through. There's actually four plays. It's the fake by the catcher. It's a throw right back to the pitcher. And then the other one is you throw all the way through. And then the fourth one is whatever middle infielder's covering, he comes in front of second base on the grass to catch the ball earlier and make the play at home. But that was just, he committed he came down the line. That is just very poor base running.
And a good job by Torrens to recognize him coming down the line.
Oh boy.
Big swing and a miss by Soto. And it's 1-2. You don't see that too often. And Morahone, as much as he struggled against righties this year, lefties hitting just 154 against him. And he gets the strikeout as Soto is fooled. So Soto 0 for 3, and the Mets have 2 down here in the 6th.
Well, that's quick work. That up and in fastball set up that slider, and that slider was not a strike. Head in the count, don't have to throw a strike.
Morahone, one of the best left-on-left relievers in baseball. 101 to Jared Young. Young 0 for 2 tonight. Adrian Morahone last year had 13 wins, the most by a National League reliever since Roger McDowell
in '86.
Got him swinging. What an inning from Adrian Morahone. The Mets go down easily 1-2-3 in the 6th.
Fireworks.
Well, how about this? Nolan McLean back out for the 6th, and that's just what he needed. One pitch and one out. McLean getting sent back out there with 91 pitches, now 92. Season high is 100 pitches, and we'll see if Mendoza lets him try and get out of the inning or if he's in just for the righties. Got the first in Ty France. Now it's Manny Machado. The lefty Gavin Sheets on deck. McLean falls behind 2-0. Machado 0 for 2, struck out in the third. And that one just misses 3-0. Austin Warren up in the pen.
Austin's had plenty of rest. He'll be fresh.
Strike one. Austin Warren hasn't pitched since Monday.
4 days.
A lot of fresh arms in this Mets bullpen. And it's 3-2.
Good sinker. Such an effective pitch for him against the right-handers. That should be his go-to when he's in trouble.
Fouled off by Machado.
Machado's been late on a lot of fastballs the first 2 games here. Not getting that barrel out. That's probably one of the reasons why he's hitting on the interstate.
Not the internet. Pitch number 99.
Uh-oh.
Driven out to left field. It'll stay in the park. 2 outs.
Got under it.
So now we'll see. 99 pitches deep.
And he missed it. And doesn't get to first base.
And good on Carlos Mendoza, leaving Nolan McLean out there to try and finish the 6th. 100th pitch coming up. It'll be his season high. Up and in for ball 1. McLean's season and career high is 100 pitches. He has thrown 100 pitches 3 times in his career. This next pitch will be a new career high. Off the end of the bat, right to Bichette. And Nolan McLean completes a gutsy 6 innings of work. Just 1 run allowed.
Day at the Home Depot.
Will A.J. Ewing eventually make a great leadoff hitter? Keith thinks so. Hear the discussion on the latest episode of the Mets Pod. Subscribe and listen wherever you get your podcasts. New pitcher for the Padres is Bradley Rodriguez. Last pitch Tuesday in Philadelphia, an inning scoreless.
And you see that spelling. Very unique spelling of the first name.
Marcus Semien, first pitch swinging, drives it out to left center field, at the track, at the wall, it's gone! Marcus Semien, a go-ahead home run, his 7th of the season, and the Mets take a 2-1 lead.
First pitch jumped on that fastball. He's got a quick bat, compact swing. Likes that ball middle in. Wasting no time here. 2-seam fastball. That's right where he, look at that level swing.
Fourth home run in Semien's last 11 games after hitting just 3 in his first 53. '260th career home run for Semien. And it was a big one.
See if they can hold up.
And a good job by Semien to jump on that first pitch fastball, because the one pitch that you really don't want to let Rodriguez get to is his changeup. He is known for a fantastic changeup. Opponents hitting less than 100 against that pitch this season. And he gets Ewing swinging. 1 out.
And we'll take a little look at the home run on top, look down. Good balance. And there you go. And the follow through. Look at that level follow through. And that supply, the bench goes crazy. That's other than Nolan. That'll get him on the win. Be the pitcher on the wrong side.
Mark Vientos, first pitch swinging, fouls it away. Popped up, it'll stay on the infield. Ty France takes it right in front of Song. 2 down. Two outs now for Brett Beatty. Beatty 1 for 2, had an RBI single in the second. First home run that Bradley Rodriguez has given up in the major leagues. Off the end of the bat, served into center field. Not having to move much is Jackson Merrill. He reels it in to end the inning, but the Mets take the lead with the 7th home run of the season for Marcus Semien. Your Spectrum high-speed hitting, hardest hit balls tonight. Miguel Andujar with the line out in the 4th. A.J. Ewing single, and Jackson Merrill's flyout. Go figure, not the home run that put the Mets on top.
And there's Austin Warren's Nissan numbers. He hasn't pitched in 4 days. It's his 4th day of rest, so he's fresh. And he's a guy that can go 2 innings and take it to the 9th for Williams if this game needs the closer.
It'll be Bogarts and then Miguel Andujar. Bogarts 0 for 1 with a walk. Warren last pitched on Monday in Seattle, a scoreless inning. Having a fantastic year, Austin Warren, a 1.33 ERA. Smoked right at Soto for out number 1. Well, if the Mets bullpen can lock it down, it would be a win for Nolan McLean, and a well-earned one, because as we talked about throughout the night, it was not the easiest of nights for McLean, but this is what he's known for, finding a way. 6 innings of 1-run ball to put the Mets in a position to win this game.
They would say in the old days that he labored through 6 innings.
Missed outside, 1-1. Andujar 0 for 2. Sweeper misses outside, 2-1. Popped up into left center field. It'll be Ewing's ball. He's underneath it. 2 away. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by Windorama. Your home, your team. Upgrade your home today. By Jeep, there's only one. And by Suffolk Credit Union, be a HELOC hero at Suffolk Credit Union. Two up, two down for the Padres in the 7th. Sung Moon Song, third batter up. Song's been on base twice tonight, scored a run in the 3rd. But a bad base running blunder in the 5th may have ultimately cost the Padres a run.
Well, Bogart's play, excuse me, not Bogart. Bichette's play, diving, that saved a run. We'd be 2-2 right now. Terrific diving stop. Prevented 1st and 3rd.
Here's the 0-2.
Whoa.
Way outside, 1 and 2. Jason Adam up in the pen. This is high and away, 2 and 2. Announced attendance of 40,770 here tonight, the 27th sellout this season at Petco Park. And Warren misses again. So the count started 0-2, now full at 3-2. Top to the right side. Warren can't pick up the ball. And Song will be on first.
The Song got himself a second hit, a blooper and a bleeder. Warren might have been better to let young Jared make that play.
Tough play all around, perfectly placed by Song. Even if Young would have come in to make that play, I don't know if he would have had the time to beat Song to the bag. But the tying run on base now for the Padres with 2 outs in the 7th. Freddie Fermin has bunted twice so far tonight. Swinging away and driving it to left field. Going back is Soto. And it's over his head and out of here. Freddie Fermin. His first home run of the season. And the Padres jump back on top. It's 3-2.
How many times do you see it happen? You substitute a catcher or a position player and becomes the potential hero. First pitch fastball in, and he turned on it. There's the fastball, wants to run in, and he just might, I don't know if he was looking in there, but he got the barrel through. The least guy you would expect to hit a go-ahead home run. His first home run, as you mentioned, Steve.
Fermin having such a tough year for the Padres as Tatis flies out to right field to end the inning, but Freddie Fermin with the 2-run home run to put the Padres on top. It's 3-2 after 7. Well, just the last person you would ever expect to hit the home run that puts the Padres ahead.
Well, that's why they play the games. You just never know. First pitch, fastball. Warren wanted to run it inside, and it didn't run in enough.
So the Mets behind now for the first time in this series. New pitcher for the Padres is Jason Adam.
And he's having a heck of a year. Look at those numbers. Getting equally but righties and lefties out. He's given up 3 home runs on the year in 21 innings pitched.
And 2 of them came in his last outing 2 days ago in Philadelphia. 3 days ago in Philadelphia. Gave up 2 home runs and took the loss.
Very peculiar delivery and a short armor. Comes up like a catcher. That is a very odd delivery.
Main weapon is the slider. Batter's hitting just 156 against that pitch. Was an all-star last season for the first time. This is, and it's 2-2. Prior to his last outing, Jason Adam has allowed just 2 runs in his first 23 appearances this season. That one towards second base. Song scoops it and fires to first. 1 down.
Nice hustle down the line by Terrens.
Back to the top of the order. Carson Benj 0 for 3 tonight. And that'll be a base hit over the head of Song. And the Mets get the tying run on base. You know, Austin Warren was this close to getting out of that inning.
And he's so quick. He's very agile and quick, and he tried to make the play himself and didn't get there. And look, he really scraped his pitching hand on the dirt. It might have just maybe his wrist.
The next pitch was hit for a home run. Carson Benj 10 for 12 stealing bases this season.
They're giving Bichette that right side of the infield.
So got to look to go if you're Benj.
Yeah.
Throw over.
I would not steal right now with Bichette up, who goes that way. I would leave that first baseman holding me on and leave that hole for Bichette.
Up the middle, base hit. So back-to-back base hits from the top of the order, and the Mets have the tying run in scoring position and the go-ahead run on first.
Well, that pitch is up in the slider. Nothing slider hanging.
We've got a meeting on the mound right now. The entire infield coming in to speak with pitching coach Ruben Niebla. Big opportunity for Juan Soto. Been a rough road trip so far for Soto.
This should be a good matchup for Soto. Pretty straight fastball, not overpowering.
And you know Soto would love to do it here. Been hearing the boos all weekend. former Padre. First pitch swinging right at Song, and he completes the double play. Benj tried to get back, but a hot shot into some bad luck. The double play turned to end the inning.
Oh, wow. Game of inches. Oh, my.
Yep, nothing you can do but clap if you're Adam. Austin Warren back out for a second inning of work. Bottom 8, it'll be Merrill, France, and Machado for the Padres. Well, the Mets were this close.
Well, game of inches. That not only would have tied the game, it would have been first and third. There's Benj. That's a tough play. He only had one step. And that's just a difficult play right there. And that was a bullet, too.
Some hard hit balls off of Adam in that top of the 8th inning, but to no avail for the Mets.
Boy, what an uppercut. Merrill. Jeez. Well, Adams got away. Better be lucky than good sometimes.
Well, you talk about a game of inches. I mean, the Mets in the bottom of the 7th, slow roller that was just a difficult play to get to, would have gotten out of the inning with the lead. And then in the top of the 8th, scorched right into a double play. The road ahead presented by Infinity. One more tomorrow out here in San Diego, then an off day, and then it's the Cardinals and the Braves for the first time this season.
Yep, gets it tough this month of June. Boy, Merrill, I don't remember him swinging up so much. Oh, there's the big guy. And he's going to be angry. He gave up a run last night.
Flied out to center field. Going back is Ewing at the track. In front of the wall, makes the grab for the first out of the inning. CarShield presents streaming of SNY on the MLB app. Stay on top of all the amazing action anytime on any device. Free with eligible TV subscription. Scan the code to download the MLB app today. One away now for Ty France. France 0 for 2, 2 ground outs and a walk. And Warren misses 1-0. That home run, just the second home run Warren has given up this season. And the fastball over the plate for strike 2. Got him swinging. Good slider. And there's 2 away.
Well, you're ahead in the count. You don't have to throw a strike. That's the bait slider. That is a fine ahead of the count pitch. The bat's not long enough to make contact.
2 out. Manny Machado tries to hold, and he does. Machado, another tough night at the plate. 0 for 3 with a strikeout. On a big swing, 1-1. Honda Sports Night tonight after the game. More from tonight's Mets-Padres game. The Knicks and the Spurs Game 3 preview and a one-on-one with new Jet Minka Fitzpatrick. That's coming up on Honda Sports Night. Man, these swings from Machado, Keith. Just not used to seeing that.
Nope. He's just really, that's why he's on the interstate. He's just really struggling.
Ground ball right back to Warren. So a bounce back inning for Warren as he gets the Padres 1-2-3. Mason Miller awaits.
Michelin, motion for life.
Well, sometimes the closer entrances can be a little much, but Mason Miller deserves an entrance like this. Straight fire from Mason Miller and tough sledding ahead for the Mets. Miller 17 for 17 this season in save opportunities. Mets did get to him last night. He threw 17 pitches after not throwing for a week. Coming up on SNY after the game, Gary Apple, Jerry Blevins, Mercedes-Benz postgame live. Jared Young lays off that 101, and it's 2-1. It'll be Young, Simeon, and A.J. Ewing. And it's 3-1. Fly ball, right center field. Tatis ranging to his right, makes the grab, and there's one down.
Had a good cut on that, a 3-1 count, and he just got under it. You saw his put his head down after the swing. Pitch was just up enough to get him to get under it.
Marcus Semien gave the Mets the lead in the top of the 7th with the leadoff home run. He does have a hit off Mason Miller in his career.
Well, you just want to keep the ball away from Marcus. He loves that ball middle in. I've said it a million times.
Off the end of the bat, popped up. Ty France, a few steps in foul territory. 2 down.
Interesting, you've got Mason Miller, a flamethrower, and the first 2 batters led off both batters with breaking balls. That slider. Threw 2 in a row for 1-2 to Jared Young, and then led Simeon off with 1. Let's see what he does here to Young Ewing.
Well, he's thrown that slider more than the fastball this year. Last night, A.J. Ewing got a look at Miller and got a base hit. Mets down to their final out.
Oh, that's a good slider right there. That is all 3 hitters led off with breaking stuff. He's looking to close this and stop this 6-game Padre losing streak. Oh my goodness, that's a strike.
Ewing going to challenge it, and why not?
It's going to be a strike. He threw him down and in nasty, and now backdoor nasty slider. Oh, low. Wow.
So a successful challenge from A.J. Ewing.
Woo. Another slider. Very interesting. Wow. He's got a good one too.
Sellout crowd on its feet.
Fastball away.
Ooh, Ewing just gets a piece of 103.
Yep, he threw. That was some serious cheddar. Good cut.
What do you think now, Keith?
If you're a hitter, you got 2 strikes. You got to just protect. You got to be up there bearing down. Can't be looking for anything off this guy.
Wow. Back to the breaking ball.
Oh,
and this
wow.
time Freddie Fermin challenges.
Wow. I don't think this is going to be a strike.
No. So a good at bat from A.J. Ewing, and he's worked the count full.
Good
Works
eye.
the walk.
Good.
That is some at bat from A.J. Ewing.
That is a terrific eye right there. Taking that pitch, and then you got to. If you can get a break, you can steal a base. That is a fine at bat from a young hitter. Let me tell you.
So impressive, just 21 years old. And now we'll see if he takes off. Does the threat of a stolen base impact pitch selection from Miller?
The out is right here at home plate. Do whatever you got to do to get out. Get the out. Another leadoff slider. All 4 hitters with a guy that throws 103 miles an hour. But I'll tell you what, that is a wicked slider.
Vientos 0 for 3 and 2 strikeouts. There goes Ewing, and a half swing by Vientos, and it's 0-2. That's the swing. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And the Mets go down 3-2.
18th save for Miller. Padres break a 6-game losing streak. Mets lose a tough one. There's your hero right there. Least expected, his first home run of the season. 2-run shot in the bottom of the 7th. They're not easy wins for the Padres.
That strikeout for Mason Miller, 51st of the season out of 104 batters that he's faced. Freddie Fermin, his first home run of the season, breaks an 0 for 30 and gives the Padres ultimately the win to snap a 6-game losing streak. Here's a game summary. Padres win 3-2. Nolan McLean, a gutsy 6 innings of 1-run ball. Warren takes the loss. Rodriguez gets the win. And the series tied up at 1. We'll be back.